And don't put the sauce right onto the fish because you worked hard to get that color on there. And that crust, keep it on there. That will make it soggy and nasty. Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Food with Mike. I'm Mike. Today I'm going to show you 2 different ways to pan sear your salmon to where it comes out restaurant quality. You do it at home either with a really nice pan like I'm going to show you or with a not so great pan, which I'm also going to show you. Because I got both. And with that, I'm going to show you how to make a Beurre Blanc, simple lemon butter sauce that is amazingly easy. And every chef should know how to make that, but you rarely see it in restaurants, and I don't know why. You'll see why when it's done. Stick around, I'll show you how we get it done. Okay, so we're going to start with the Beurre Blanc just to get this going. All it is 1 or 2 slices of lemon. I'm going to put it in our little handy-dandy pot over here with a couple sprigs of thyme, just loosely. I would normally use a shallot, but I don't have a shallot, so I'm using a half an onion. Goes in. White wine. There's no order to how you do this. I want to get a decent amount of white wine in there. Okay, we're going to reduce this down. That's about 1/3 of a bottle. That's more than I'm going to need, but I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to show you a little trick here with the peppercorns. Black peppercorns. Just grab a couple of them. About that much. Put it on here. And we crush them. You usually get a couple on your floor, but that's okay. Just crack them like that. And they go into the pot. I'm going to bring this up to a boil and let it reduce down. So once this gets to boil, we'll show you what it looks like when it gets down to where we want to add the cream. Okay, so we'll come back in a few minutes and show you what that looks like. Okay, so let's talk about the pans real quick. I've got 2 pans here. This one is an all-clad copper core pan. Very, very expensive. Well, it's about $110 at the time I got it. I got it probably 20 years ago. Very good pan. It'll last you a lifetime. This is a pan from a set my wife wanted to get. This is what most people have in their homes. I honestly wouldn't even use this professionally. It's too nice of a pan. Generally in a kitchen, in a professional kitchen, we're using a pan more similar to this than to this. But if you've got this or a cast iron skillet, anything that's a heavy bottom, really, really good for what I'm going to show you with this technique. And I'm going to show you a different technique with this pan. So we're going to do it at the same time. You want to get them hot, ripping hot. And the oil we're going to use is a canola oil because it's got a very, very high smoke point. We want to get nice color on this fish. So get that oil to where you see it starting to have little wisps of smoke coming off of it. In the meantime, the fish itself right here, we've got salmon, Atlantic salmon. Come on over. Got Atlantic, so I'm going to pat it dry. We eat a lot of salmon in this house, although I'm not the biggest fan of salmon. It's good. Obviously, most people love it. Just make sure it's dry. That's the key. Okay. We'll start with the big pan first. We're going to season it. Make sure you got all the bones out of there, too. There's a bone right there. See that? Get that out of there. I did not butcher these. Our seasoning is just our salt and pepper mix. It's one part white salt or white pepper to 7 parts of salt. Now I'm going to season both sides on this fish. I'm going to put it skin side down. There's no skin, but where the skin was, that goes down first in this pan. And I'm going to show you why. Normally, you'll see it the other way around. I'll show you why we do that. In the other pan, we're going to go the other side down first. And always put it away from you. Because if it splashes up at you, it's not going to be very fun. These are not non-stick pans. This one claims that it is, but it is not. We'll come back in a minute. Well, here, this one's almost ready now. You can see how fast this happens. Most of the cooking is going to happen in the oven. This is how restaurants cook your fish, generally speaking. So we get that color on there. We flip it over. And it immediately goes into the oven, this side down. Whole pan goes in. These fish here, you see how easily it comes off. Again, these are not nonstick pans. You're working with hot oil in a hot pan and a good sear. It comes right off, no problem. And you'll see why I prefer to do it the other way over this when it comes out. Nice color on it. And now I'm going to get a little bit of searing on this side, and then we're going to put it on a sheet tray, and then that goes in the oven on a sheet tray with a rack. You see how fast that happens. Like I said, most of the cooking is going to happen in the oven. So let's get these in, and when I come back, I'll show you the next step in the Beurre Blanc. I'm going to show you now what this fish will look like. Here's the ones that went in from the not so expensive pan. We're going to keep it right on here. Close. That's the color we're looking for right there. Whoop. And that's going to be a beautiful crust on there. I'm going to let these chill for a few minutes. We'll come back in the next segment here and show you how to finish the Beurre Blanc. This is where we're at now. You can see, let me get away from the, most of the liquid is gone. Going to add heavy cream to it now. Now that was about a third of a bottle of wine. I just added about a cup of heavy cream. We're going to bring this up, let it reduce down slightly, and then we're going to finish it with butter. Unsalted butter if you got it, so we can control the seasoning. You can see our cream has reduced to about half of what it was. So I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to start mounting in my butter, but before I do that, I'm going to put my fish back in the oven, 450-degree oven, and reheat that because we're almost done. So I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm putting in cold butter, unsalted. I'm going to mound this all in until we get the flavor where we want it. And what I'll do occasionally is just turn the heat on. Really what I normally would do is have the burner going. You don't want to boil this now. You just want to keep it warm so we can melt that butter. Cold butter will give you a better sheen to it at the end. Warm butter just kind of melts and it doesn't look very pretty. We don't want this to break. It's similar to hollandaise in that regard. I showed you hollandaise when I made the eggs Benedict. Just once in a while, reheat it to get the heat back up. And it helps if you've got all this stuff cut up ahead of time. But you see how simple this sauce is. It's only a handful of ingredients. Like that, normally I would be doing this. I'd be over here. Then when I need to put it back on, I'll just set it back on. My wife's having fun with the camera. A little bit more and then we'll check it. Yeah, it's going to take more. You don't want it to taste like white wine. You want it to taste a little bit lemony, a little bit like white wine. But you don't want any harsh flavors in this. So that's what the butter does. It kind of mounds in and gets all of that out of there. And we'll season it with salt when we're done. Pepper's already in there. That was those black peppercorns that we put in. Don't keep it on that burner. It'll break. This is a sauce that we would have in our restaurants every night. And we could add flavorings to it. We could put it on fish, chicken. I wouldn't put it on steak, but you know. Lots of times with fish or chicken dishes, this Beurre Blanc, it just rounds it out so well. Still not there. You just add a little bit of butter at a time till we get where we want it to be. I had 3 sticks of butter here. I don't think I'll use all of it, but we might. I didn't anticipate using a third of a bottle of wine either, but we did. Okay. Then we just strain it. Make sure we got all the butter incorporated. We don't yet. We're almost there. My really fancy serving dish here. Through a strainer. If I were working in a restaurant, I would have this in a bain-marie just sitting near my steam table to keep it warm, but not hot. And it will hold all night long. Better than hollandaise, better than a béarnaise. Let's get all that out of there. There's that. So there's our Beurre Blanc. As fancy and pretty of a container as that is, as I make a mess of everything here. Okay, so these two were the fish that were done with the cheap pans, and these were the expensive pans. You can see they look about the same. So no matter how you do it, as long as you follow the way I did it, you're going to have a pretty nice finish on your fish. Okay, so all I have here is some white rice and some carrots that I had a ton of carrots. So I'm just doing carrots with it. I know it's orange on orange. I get it. You see that color? Again, if it was a wet piece of fish, you wouldn't get that kind of color, and it would stick to your pan. Do that, and then we sauce it up. And don't put the sauce right onto the fish because you worked hard to get that color on there, and that crust, keep it on there. That will make it soggy and nasty. And I did season this sauce with some salt at the end. Just a basic Beurre Blanc. Lemony, buttery goodness. That's it. Okay, so that's the dish for you. Basic way on how to cook salmon or any kind of fish. I wouldn't necessarily do like flounder like that. But you've got salmon, trout, a lot of fish. That's how you would cook fish the professional way. And you see how simple it is. Just a hot pan. Don't try to pick it up too quick. Don't try to move it too fast, and it'll release itself. Lemon Beurre Blanc, basic, professional chef sauce that anybody can make in their home. Super simple. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. That would be awesome. And share it with your friends. I'll send my videos out to a couple friends here and there, and then they'll send it out to a few, and that's how it gets out. And if you did that for me, that would be amazing. Also, hit the notification bell. I love it when I get the notification saying, oh, this video popped up or that one. Not just of mine, but of other ones that I subscribe to. So I'll see you all next time. Have an awesome day.